Hey YouTube, how is it going today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about Cleanspark, ticker symbol CLSK. They're out with some favorable news today, but the stock price continues to fade lower. So in this video, I want to talk about why I think they are a fantastic value at these levels. And then I want to get into not only their chart, but I want to talk about Bitcoin as well and see if we can determine what could be coming next. Now, if you're new to my channel, I have been trading and investing for over 20 years, and in each video I will show you trades that I see setting up right now. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading and investing ideas. And also, if you would like to support the channel and become part of our Patreon community and see what we are buying and selling in real time for a measly $10 a month, that link is in the description. All right, well, I want to start this video out with an article that was sent to me by one of my Patreons. This article is on Cleanspark. Now, I have a position in Cleanspark, but it's one of those positions that I just kind of want to sit tight. I'm not following it super closely because I want to hold on to this one for a year or two at least and see how it plays out. But this article is particularly bullish, so I want to share with you guys. And this article says that Cleanspark now tops 6 Bitcoin per day, and they have deployed 200 microgrid batteries. And these Bitcoin are 95% carbon free, so they are Elon approved, which is giving them a Bitcoin annual run rate nearing $136 million. Now, this is a pretty small company, so those are pretty big numbers for Cleanspark. I'm surprised that we're not seeing more appreciation in the stock price, because these numbers are just going to get extremely large. But this article goes on to say that CleanBlock, the company's Bitcoin mining division, now has over 7,500 of the latest generation mining units deployed with a hashtag capacity currently producing approximately 6 Bitcoin per day at today's difficulty rates. Now, they have another 1,670 units capable of producing approximately 1.4 Bitcoin per day that they have just received and are expected to be installed this month. And they have additional units are expected to be delivered in late August. So more are on the way. The company's Bitcoin mining division is just growing huge. Now, I'm not a Bitcoin expert, so some of this stuff kind of goes over my head, but it says this company expects to exceed a hash rate capacity of 1.0 EHs, which would produce approximately, man, I don't know how people do this shit with their goddamn mouse, but I'm not an expert on that either. But this says that would produce approximately 9.3 Bitcoin per day, assuming current difficulty rates. Now, they're saying with Bitcoin at an approximate price of 40,000 at the current difficulty rates, that would result in an annual run rate of 136 million. So that's where they get that figure of 136 million in their mining segment alone. Now, they say Cleanspark expects to approach 2.0 EHs by the end of 2021 and 3.2 EHs by the end of next September. So this part of their business is going to pretty much triple by next September, and the stock price is still going down. So that's kind of a shocker to me. But hey, whatever. I'm going to buy some more at these prices because I think this is extremely bullish news. I think it's an extremely bullish forecast, and the price continues to taper down. Hey, I'm just going to buy more because I think this company has a pretty bright future. All right, well, before I get into the charts, I just want to jump over to a couple other websites and show you what, some other websites are projecting for Cleanspark. Now, these are just, projections, so, I mean, take them for what they're worth. Basically, they're just opinions, but if we look at Cleanspark, we can look at some of their revenue projections. We scroll all the way down to their revenue. They expect revenue to come in at $191 million for 2022. They expect it to come in at $51 million from 2021. But if we look at their September 2022 numbers, it seems like if they can continue to produce Bitcoin at what they're expected to produce them at, and if the price of Bitcoin doesn't completely fall through the toilet, I think that they're going to beat this number quite easily. And if we scroll down to their earnings per share, we can see that they are projected to have Cleanspark come in at 42 cents. I think they're probably going to beat that number. Again, as long as Bitcoin doesn't fall through the toilet here. But next year, they're expecting their earnings per share to come in at $2.50. So just massive growth for this stock. So I just want to sit tight on this position and see how it plays out. And if it ends up growing this fast, or even half as fast as this, I think Cleanspark is a pretty good value at these levels. And if they exceed those numbers, we could have a big winner on my hands. But if we go to let's go to tip ranks real quick. If I jump over to tip ranks, we have there's only one analyst, and they're rating it a moderate buy with a price target of $50 per share. So that represents a 281% increase from these levels at $13.11. So even though there's only one analyst, they have a price target of $50, and that is a pretty big jump from these levels. And if we go to another one of my favorite sites, which is simply Wall Street, scroll down to their projections on Cleanspark. Yep, I am on Cleanspark. Scroll down to their projections for Cleanspark's price target, and they're saying the fair value on Cleanspark is $84 a share. So at $13.54, which it's even lower than that right now, it's extremely undervalued. In fact, they say it's 83% undervalued. Now, this is just simply Wall Street's metrics, how they value a company, so it's just their opinion. But I just wanted to show you a couple of different ones that I like to use frequently, and man, they're all pretty much saying that Cleanspark is undervalued at these levels. All right, well, before I jump over to Cleanspark's chart, I want to take a look at Bitcoin first, because Cleanspark's revenues are so closely tied to the performance of Bitcoin. It would be naive to at least not take a peek at it. And as we can see, Bitcoin has actually been pretty strong these last couple of weeks. When Bitcoin was forming this triangle consolidation, I thought for sure we're going to get a breakdown through this 29,000 level and get closer to 20,000. And that's where I was actually hoping it was going to go, because I was going to load up on some Bitcoin around that level. And as the chart's looking right now, I don't think it's going to make it there. I mean, anything could happen with Bitcoin. But and the way that has broken through this upper trend line, I would expect the price to continue moving higher. Especially, I'm especially interested to see how it reacts toward this trend line. If it continues to fade into this trend line, finds support at it, and then gets a decent sized move up, I'm probably going to be of the opinion that Bitcoin has bottomed in the short term. Now, that's good news for me, since I'm a shareholder in Cleanspark, which I think it will eventually trickle into Cleanspark's earning. But it's bad news for the fact that I wanted to buy into Bitcoin a little bit cheaper. But it's going to be very interesting to see how Bitcoin's price shapes out in these next couple of weeks, especially if it starts to fade down. And if it fades through this trend line, then I think that we have a strong possibility of Bitcoin continuing to move sideways, and this just ends up being a little bit of a consolidation base. And then we're going to have to wait and see if this support holds, or if it just ends up breaking higher. But if I had to guess at this point, I think Bitcoin is probably going to start going up pretty soon. All right, so let's get into these charts of Cleanspark. Like I said, I added some today, a little bit under $13 a share. So I have an average cost of a little bit over $15 a share. So I am underwater at the moment. I've been in this one ever since it came down to this 200 period simple moving average back in late April. I started some at around $17 a share. I said if it broke through this 200 period, I would look to add some at this level, which I did, and I thought this was going to be the bottom. This thing advanced all the way up over $20 a share, but it has rolled over, and now we are right back down to these levels. So even though they have been producing more and more Bitcoins ever since this first decline, the stock has rolled over again, and in fact, from the all-time high, this thing has pulled back almost 70%. So almost a 70% haircut from the top. Now, you could probably make the argument that it was overvalued when it was up over $40, but I think right now you can make a pretty decent argument that is it at least fairly valued to undervalued at this level, or at least in my opinion. But you know what they say about the stock market? In the short term, it is a voting machine, and in the long term, it is a weighing machine, meaning that it is a popularity contest in the short term. So when these Bitcoin stocks were running, Cleanspark was running like crazy. But now that those stocks have been out of favor, this one is starting to fade down. And that's when I love to accumulate stock in growing companies. I hate to chase them when they're screaming up. I like to buy them on pullbacks or when they've been fading for a long time. And Cleanspark has been producing more and more Bitcoins at faster rates ever since this high, but the price is just continuing to decline. I think eventually that's going to come to play for Cleanspark. I think everybody's going to realize the value in Cleanspark before too long. And in fact, some of the other Bitcoin stocks like BTBT have already had pretty decent price advances in the last couple of weeks. But for whatever reason, Cleanspark has been left in the dust. I mean, BTBT has advanced from around $4 a share up to over $10 a share. Mara, it's had a pretty decent move from right around $20 a share to up around $30 a share, even though it has pulled back to about $26 in the last couple of trading sessions. You can look at Riot. Riot Blockchain has done basically the same thing. It was under $25 about a week or so ago, and now it is over $30 a share. So for whatever reason, Cleanspark has been left in the dark. You know, MicroStrategy, we'll check one more. See, MicroStrategy's had a big move. It moved from under $500 a share to up to almost $700 a share just a few sessions ago. So some of these Bitcoin related stocks are starting to do much better since Bitcoin has appreciated from around $30 or $30,000 a coin to up over $40,000 a coin. Bitcoin's pulled back a little bit, but like I said, for whatever reason, Cleanspark has been left in the dust. And if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that it is definitely due for a bounce. It has been trending down for quite a while. And if this support level holds, I would expect Cleanspark to have at least a 20% bounce to the upside in the short term. Now, I am not interested in trading this one in the short term, but that's the type of bounce that I expect if this level holds. Okay, everyone, that is all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, or if you have any other ones you want me to take a look at, please leave it down there in the comments section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.